Well, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Betrayer. We have backtracked through every map in the dark. All except for Fort Henry. Here we are, the last one. Or the first one, depending upon your point of view. So we are about to go into the dark here and see if we can get these wraiths over here to be heavy. This is Captain Eastgrove, if I remember correctly. Martha is anxious about your son. She was so desperate with worry, as was I. A group of us went into the woods to search for him. Then I heard Gregory Ward calling out to him and knew he was safe. She remembers you carrying him through the gate. I was telling him he mustn't play outside by himself, for there are many dangers in these woods. I told him we must never make his mother worry. Do you recognize this pistol? I remember taking it from my son's hand, pulling open his fingers when he refused to let go. So that's how Martha was killed, telling him he must never use it without my permission. I found your pistol near Martha's remains. It was missing when I awoke. I was panicked. I ran outside and shouted for the sentry. He had just come on duty, so I woke Gregory Ward to ask him what he had seen during his watch. What did he say? I can't remember. Oh, come on. Come on. These lines of questioning that go nowhere. Who the heck is Gregory Ward? Why do we care? Alright, so we're just going to do a search of this area. Well, guys, we found a wraith out in the woods. And the wraith said that we would meet him or her back here in the fort. I hope this is good. I hope this is not just another dead end. Edmund, goddamn, still hasn't returned from patrol. When did you last see him? We met by chance near Dodd's Hill. It was nearly dark. He said he found a Spanish encampment and showed me where it was. Who are you? Be good. Gregory Ward, I remember him. He was asked about. Oh, you're the sentry. Do you recognize this flute? I remember thinking how sad it would be here without Edmund's music. An Indian gave him that flute after hearing him play. Found it near the remains of a man who had been killed near the encampment. Then that's why he never came back. Alright, William Eastgrove woke you to ask you what you had seen during your watch. I told him his wife left the fort saying she was going for a short walk. I thought it strange that she was wearing a fine necklace for such an occasion. He remembers you calling out John's name when you were searching the woods. I spied the boy in a clearing, aiming a pistol at a tree. Did he shoot his mom in the head? He pulled the trigger, but nothing happened. So he went to peer into the barrel. Whoa, I was shouting at him by then, running toward him as fast as I could. I don't remember hearing the shot, just the smoke obscuring him. He shot himself. Alright, so let's go over here and talk to William Eastgrove and see if that new information helps him. Your son accidentally shot himself. I remember now. A group of us went into the woods to search for him. I heard Gregory Ward calling out to him and knew he was safe. Then the shot rang out. I remember taking my pistol from my son's hand, pulling open his fingers when he refused to let go, telling him he must never use it without my permission. And then I closed his eyes and went to tell Martha that our son was dead. I remember carrying him through the gate, telling him he mustn't play outside by himself. There are many dangers in these woods. I told him he must never make his mother worry. And I saw her relieved smile crumbling into despair. Gregory Ward says that Martha left the fort early wearing her topaz necklace. Did she kill herself? I knew what she meant to do, why she had taken my pistol, why she had worn that necklace? I was running through the woods when I heard the shot, just like before. She took her own life? That's why I buried her there, so that the chaplain would not speak of her as a sinner bound for damnation. I did not want her to be thought of that way. How did you explain her disappearance? I told the truth, that she wandered into the woods and never came home. Alright, so we actually got an investigation completed. So, let's see. She killed herself. I don't know how he died. Killed near an encampment. Okay, he was killed when his head was bashed in. The Indian girl who was running around naked with only one shoe. I don't know what happened to her. Emma Clark was burned. Winifred was trampled to death by a horse. Allison Markley is our girl in red. Roger Emery. Huh. Isabel Emery. I don't know. She was stabbed to death by her own stick. And Simon Holt was killed with an arrow. Well, let us put this on pause and ponder for a while what we're gonna do next. Okay, here we go. I'm revisiting the Wraith on the Forbidden Wilds map. And we're actually getting somewhere. You attacked Allison Markley and Simon Holt. The Lord Governor said they must be killed with Indian weapons. That it must look like savages killed them. Huh. The Lord Governor, as far as I know, is the father of the girl he wants killed. I remember Simon Holt pouring powder into the barrel of his musket, reloading as fast as he could as I raised my bow and released. Then he went stiff and fell sideways, an arrow in his throat. I remember Allison fleeing into the woods when the fighting started. I loosed an arrow that caught her cloak and pinned her to a tree. She yanked herself free and kept running. I thought to run her down, but she was waiting just ahead. The shaft struck my knee and my leg buckled. I wanted to go after her, but I was wounded. An arrow from among the trees. Excuse me. Why? Am I just gonna have to go back and forth and back and forth? Just realized a few moments ago that you can select what you see on your map. I didn't see that before. And so I was walking around like a rube trying to find all this stuff. Well, now I see the locations of the wraiths and the shadows. So I'm not sure who I have found already, but let's go looking. Okay. Let's see if this guy knows anything new. No. Okay, so there is a wraith down in the south. They're both sort of south. One's east and one's west. But before we go, let's see if this guy knows anything new. No. While you were away, and you were away because I ran out of disk space for my recordings. And while you were away, I found Allison Markley's father. He admitted to sending somebody to kill her for fear that if she returned, she would bring back with her some form of evil, and perhaps she did. Boom. I missed. Okay. So now, let's see. With these wraiths marked, they should be easier to find. Unless I've already found them. They don't seem to be removed from the map when they're found, unlike the chests and stuff. Also, I found another shadow. That was the father of Emery. She had been hanged by that rope right there. And her father was murdered by another wraith that was standing there. Can't remember his name, sorry. Let's see. Have you been found already? Perhaps. So we solved a couple of investigations right after my disk filled up. Yikes. Alright. This wraith may have already been found by me. Oh, we're back. We found a wraith we had, or a shadow we hadn't seen before. I must report to the captain. Is this your flute? It is. Then you must be Edward Goddam. Yes, you've given me back my name. Gregory Ward said you showed him a Spanish encampment. I remember pointing through the brush to where the Spaniards were gathered around their fire. We counted 24 men at least. I showed him the map I found lying in the grass. The wind must have carried it away from the camp. He looked very grave when he saw it. I suddenly thought to ask him what he was doing so far from the fort. What did he say? That he always loved hearing me playing the flute. Found a crude map of the area around Fort Henry with place names in English and notations in Spanish, suggesting it was drawn by an Englishman and modified by a Spaniard. Okay. I think we've cleared off this map. Let's go back to the fort. Alright. Okay, well let's see if this fella, Gregory Ward, knows anything new since we found the map. Yes. Edmund Goddam found this map near the Spanish encampment. I remember now. We met by chance near Dodd's Hill. It was nearly dark. He said he found the Spanish encampment and showed me where it was. Then he showed me this map. He said we must report to Captain Eastgrove. Were you concerned about the map? Because I drew it. Why? I'm a Catholic, though I had to swear I wasn't to come here. My duty is to the Pope in Rome, not to the heretic king. And to my mum at home, who can live easier with those Spanish coins I gave her. Edmund Goddam didn't return from patrol because of that map. I knew I couldn't let him come back to Fort Henry or I'd be hung for sure. But it made me sad to think I'd never hear him playing that flute again, so he was murdered. Let's talk to Captain Eastgrove. Nope. He doesn't know anything new. Alright. Let us fast travel to the other areas and see what they have to offer. So let's see. World map. Sentry post. Okay. What do we see here? There's one up here, one down there, one up there, and one in the fort. So let's go here. Okay, so I realized that where we fast traveled to first did not have the bell, so we came down here to the sentry post first. And here is a wraith. Does he know anything new? No! I hear skellies. Where do we gotta go? All the way up north? All the way down south and to the east. Let's go north first. Well, we're back. And I think I see a thief. And I got it. The shadow that was up to the north was not there. The shadow in the northeast was not there. So now we are looking for the shadow down here in the south. And we just happened to come across the thief. There they are. Boy, now that we know that the stuff is on the map, we're really cooking with gas now. You. Made me jump. Who are you? Found an abandoned, unadorned, expensive-looking sheath for a large knife. Huh. Okay. That's all the shadows for this map. So let us fast travel to Fort St. George. Okay, here we are at Fort St. George. 2 wraiths in the yard and 1 out there in the woods. I think we know who these guys are here in the yard. They are a Charity Hammond and somebody else. But let's go find out if they know anything new. No. How about this one over here? No. Okay. Let us go look for that one that's out there in the woods. Okay, we're here. And this one is not here. I must have found it earlier. And here is a bunch of blood that's associated with this site. So I cleared out this map. And let us go to the next map. Okay, so here we are in the outlying settlement map. And we know this guy is here. He still doesn't tell us anything. But there is one to our left and one down by the cabin area. So let's go have a look and see if we can find them. Okay, there they are. I'm wondering if this is Louis Archard's sister. I must apologize to Louis. I must tell him I'm sorry for making him angry. Is this your wool shawl? Yes, then you must be Catherine Archard. Yes, what happened to you? I couldn't breathe. Hands were choking me. I tried to pull them away, but they were too strong. I grabbed his fingers and twisted as hard as I could. His voice cried out, savage and guttural, and his grip loosened. I clambered away and ran. I realized I was holding his ring. It must have come off in my hand. A clue. Found a gold ring inlaid with 3 small rubies. From the size, it was likely worn by a man. Ha ha ha. And now there's another one down there by the cabins. Let's go have a look. See. Yikes. Oh, is that the... I missed. I missed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. Alright, let's go load up here on some water before we do anything. Okay, so this wraith shadow is directly ahead of us. If it's still there, in fact. I went right past him. This must be somebody I already found. Must be someone I already found. Okay. Let's move on to the next map. Well, let's go talk to Lewis first, now that we've found his ring. Do you recognize this gold ring? It's mine. Ho ho ho. I told Catherine she must stay away from Jeffrey Hunt. She said she would not. I remember yelling at her then, but she still argued. So I struck her. She was in tears. She ran out of the house. I was seething with anger. Yeah? Would you like to elaborate on why you were trying to choke her? Okay. Alright, folks, let's move on to the next map. Okay, here we are at Fort Hope. Let's go into the Nether. Okay, this is Governor Markley. This is the guy who killed Emery. And that is a deer skin. But according to this, there's a third one around the back here. Perhaps I already found it. Oh, this side of the fence, perhaps? No, it's in the fort. I see you, mold. Well, let's not worry about that one for now. There is another one down here to the southeast. Let's go see if we can find that one. Yes, indeed. Here is one we missed before. Where is Tabitha? Tabitha Markley? Who is Tabitha? My daughter. Oh, this is Philippa Markley. I was sitting beside their bedside. Allison was asleep already, but Tabitha seemed restless. I brushed the hair from her face, and she smiled at me. I hummed a lullaby I had sung since they were both girls, and soon she was fast asleep. I suppose I nodded off sitting there, for I woke shivering in the dark. Then I realized Tabitha was gone. I think she's been burned up, lady. We found no trace of her. The sentries swore that they had not seen her, but her clothing was gone. My husband rode into the forest to search for her, but he could not find her. Do you recognize this locket? It's mine. Then you must be Philippa Markley. What happened to you? I remember telling my husband that I wanted to see Tabitha again. He said she was never coming home. That's correct. Okay, there's another one down here in the south. Let's go see if we can find that one, shall we? Okay, so this one down here must have been one of the ones that we had already found. So I think We have discovered everybody on this map, I think. I still don't know where the third one is. There was one here. The girl that was hung from that noose, so maybe that's who that is. So let us go ahead and travel to the next map. Hello. Well, here we are on the Deep Forest map. And there's one, looks like one here with us, and one down there a little bit to the south. So let's have a look. Yeah, you're the one that's here with us. Barnaby Burden. Alright. And there's one down there in the south. Let's go see what they have to offer. If they're even still there. Maybe they're one I already found. Let's find out. Okay, we're here. But there's no one here with me. So, except for that geezer right there. You see here on the map, this is where this guy was. I must have inadvertently already talked to him. No, Mr. Mold. Yes, sir. Alright, so let us go back to the bell. We will, and we will call this episode quits as we go into the Forbidden Wilds and see what that map has to offer.